My girlfriend demanded marriage within 9 months or she would leave. Now she is begging me to come back after I said no. Yes, I am a 21-year-old man. I drink very rarely, last month, perhaps only twice, and always in small quantities, nothing excessive. But recently, my girlfriend saw a bottle of whiskey on my shelf, which was unopened, and she told me that she did not feel comfortable with it. I know it might seem strange, but is this normal for other people? The situation turned into an argument. I was incredulous and told her, "You cannot be serious." I explained that I did not drink that much. Nonetheless, she insisted that she did not feel comfortable and asked if her feelings did not matter. I replied that she was being immature and assured her that if I were to drink, I would let her know beforehand. But she continued to ask questions, saying, "So you are choosing a bottle of whiskey over our relationship?" Then she blocked me. What do you think about this? Ladies, feel free to share your thoughts as well. Update: last night, my girlfriend broke up with me. I am 21 years old, and she is 22. We have been dating for about 3 months. Recently, she told me that if I did not plan on marrying her within 9 months, I should let her know now so she could move on. To me, this seemed a bit rushed, considering I am in flight school and also enrolled in university, so I am not ready for marriage yet. I explained this to her, mentioning that, in my opinion, 3 months together and 9 more months is not enough time to decide if I want to spend the rest of my life with someone. She did not like that, said she did not want to waste time, and when I suggested a prenuptial agreement, she refused, saying that I did not trust her. I continued to explain that university and flight training would already be challenging enough, and she argued that having a wife and children would make everything easier. I really like her, but I am starting to think that this demand was exaggerated. Relevant comments: I think it is important to know a person at different stages of life before deciding to get married. How do they react in difficult times? Most of the time, you do not see all facets of a person during the first year, let alone in the first 3 months of a relationship. Based on other posts I have seen, she has already shown controlling and manipulative behavior. I think you should break up with her now because it will only get worse. Her behavior, threatening to end the relationship, suggests an abusive tendency. Additionally, you should avoid any situation where she might try to manipulate you further, like mentioning the desire for children at such an early stage. Story 2. I tried to post this on Am I the Bad One via a different account a few days ago, but it did not work due to the trigger warning, which does not surprise me. Since then, I have concluded that my wife and I did the right thing, so this will be my last attempt to post this story. I tried to add some information and slightly change the wording. All names are fictitious. My stepmother, aged 49, has always wanted to be a party planner. She took it upon herself to plan and organize every party and holiday that my father's family has celebrated since she married him. I never liked these occasions. She is controlling and gets angry if anyone complains, but I always tried to please her for my father's sake, as it made her feel included. I am going to marry my fiancée Jane, aged 26, in July. We got engaged in early 2021, but Jane got pregnant a few months later, and we decided to postpone the wedding to focus on our child. Therefore, our engagement was long. My stepmother tried to interfere with the plans from the beginning, complaining, contacting our planner, and even showing up uninvited to Jane's dress appointments. We asked her several times to stop, but she remained bitter about not organizing the wedding or being called mother of the groom on the invitations. Besides our baby, we also have Luke, aged 4, Jane's paternal half-brother, whom she gained custody of after his parents died. During the pandemic, I moved in with them and have been in Luke's life since he was a baby. He does not call me dad, but we love him as our own child. However, my stepmother hates Luke and accuses Jane of using him to get into the family. These accusations worsened after our son was born. Although my father adores Jane and the children, my stepmother demands that he refuses to take care of Luke, so we do not leave the children with them often. Generally, it is Jane's brother and sister-in-law who look after the kids. Last Sunday, we needed a babysitter, but my brother-in-law was out of town with his family. Jane's other siblings live far away, as do my mother and sister. My father agreed to watch the kids at our house, but when we returned, we found both children crying, my stepmother yelling, and my father trying to calm everyone down. Luke had told my stepmother that he and our son would be the ring bearers, and she got furious, saying she would not allow that because he was not part of the family. Then she slapped Luke, who started crying and ended up with a split lip. We immediately banned my stepmother from entering our house and from attending the wedding. My father was furious and said he would not go without her, and he eventually convinced half of the family to boycott the wedding. This includes my stepbrother, who supports his mother no matter what I say. Jane and I decided not to give in, but many of my cousins are asking us to reconsider. Update: we are accepting the fact that my stepmother will probably not face serious consequences. Jane and I are discussing with our lawyer what to do next, but for now, we are focusing on obtaining a restraining order against her. We have gathered all the necessary evidence, including photos and footage from the security camera that captured part of the incident. I have not spoken to my father yet, but my sister keeps me informed. It seems he minimized the severity of the situation to the family, suggesting that we banned my stepmother simply because she annoyed us, which is not true. Fortunately, most of our relatives believe our version and support us. Luke is recovering well. We have already explained to him that my father and stepmother will no longer be around, and we are doing everything we can to make him feel safe and loved. Conclusion: for now, I am sad about what happened, but I am satisfied with the decision we made. I love my fiancé, my children, and we are happy together. I will not let anyone ruin that. Final update: after being engaged for over 2 years, Jane and I finally got married last Saturday. We are still getting used to calling each other husband and wife, but I hope that will come with time. The wedding was amazing, the kids had fun, our extended families finally met, and we danced so much that I could hardly stand the next day. Luke took his ring-bearing responsibilities very seriously and held our son's hand while walking down the aisle. Apart from my aunt getting drunk and needing to be taken out in a wheelchair, which I had already expected anyway, everything went according to plan. 4 months have passed since we obtained the restraining order against my stepmother. Things have been mostly calm, and I would not want it any other way, except for being completely calm, but we cannot always get what we want. I never really feared that my stepmother would show up at the wedding, especially after the restraining order. It is literally illegal for her to come near us, and we made it very clear that if she tried, we would call the police immediately. My friends still advised me to take security measures, which I did. My stepmother did not show up, of course, but I firmly believe that any money spent on security is well spent, so I have no regrets. My stepbrother and I wished each other a happy birthday, and he also sent Jane a message on her birthday in June. That is the only contact we have had during these months. He knows that the door is still open if he wants to apologize. My father has stopped trying to contact me. We have not spoken since April. He is still trying to talk to my sister for some reason, but she is ignoring him. A few days after she cut off contact with him, they had a big argument on the phone about how my stepmother has treated us over the years. Insults were exchanged, sensitive subjects were brought up, and most importantly, my father supported my stepmother on almost everything. My sister called me in tears afterward. I wanted to call him and yell at him, but she told me not to. She is doing better now. She has not blocked him but does not respond to his calls or messages. She has only received 3 messages in total, a weak apology, one on my birthday in May, and a long rant after we did not wish him a happy Father's Day. After all, despite our differences, he is still our father. He is not wrong. I love my father and always will, but I can no longer be around him. Although I have closed the door, I have not locked it yet. He knows what he needs to do if he wants to get his family back. I do not think he will, but if there is the slightest chance that he might, I will consider the idea of opening the door a crack. This is a suggestion from my wife. I am much less optimistic than she is, but maybe it is important to hold on to that hope. However, she has not forgiven him, nor my stepmother. Jane has always been very protective of Luke, so it was not surprising that this disaster shook her. A part of me feared she blamed me, but she called me an idiot when I told her that. I have been in therapy for a few months, and it has helped much more than I expected. I realized that my stepmother's behavior towards me growing up was much worse than I had always thought, and it is great to finally be able to express my feelings. Right now, I am more than happy. I just married the most amazing woman in the world, and I have the family I always dreamed of. None of us are perfect, but I never imagined life would be this good for me. I will continue to visit Reddit. There is much more than I expected, but now I can sleep in peace, so it is safe to say this will be my last update on the subject. Thank you all for the kindness and advice you have given me over these months. I could never have hoped for the support I received from you, and I cannot begin to describe how helpful it was. Seriously, thank you all. Update 3 days later. Alright, I updated too soon. I did not want to write another post, so I will just add this here. My stepbrother called me earlier today. Apparently, he and my stepmother had a fight, and he wants to meet up. I agreed, as long as it was just between the two of us. We are meeting for coffee on Wednesday. I have no idea what to expect, but even if he apologizes, I need to know that he understands how and why he let us down. Final update. Hello everyone. I have been away from Reddit for a few months due to some things at work, but many people have messaged me about my stepbrother, so I want to give you a small update. I have been busy and tired these days, so I might omit a few details. Feel free to ask me anything. I first met with my stepbrother for coffee in August. He had fought with my stepmother, and the restraining order was mentioned. She had lied to him about some details, accusing Luke of bothering my baby, bad-mouthing Jane, and more, but this time, he managed to force her to tell the truth. My stepbrother started to re-evaluate his relationship with his mother after talking to his therapist and friends about it, as well as how she had raised him. He finally accepted that I was not exaggerating about what she did to Luke. He wanted to talk to me in June but did not want to distract us, Jane and me, from the wedding. My stepbrother and I have spent the last 4 months working on rebuilding our relationship. We have met for coffee or lunch to discuss his mother and what she did to our lives and my children. Jane started joining us in October, and the kids saw him again for the first time 2 weeks ago. Things were awkward between us for a while, but we are good now. He is also making amends with my sister. In early November, he completely cut off contact with my stepmother. Jane and the children are doing great. Luke turned 5 in September, and our baby will be 2 in February. We are spending the holidays with Jane's family in Brazil, while my stepbrother stays with his girlfriend. Things are going well. That is all. I will take my leave for now. I will keep you posted if anything happens. Happy holidays to everyone. Best wishes to all of you. Thank you for following along until the end. If you really liked it, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a good day.